Good morning, biology students. Mr. Adair here, and I'm going to walk you through the next step and teach you how to do Punnett squares and also talk about how Punnett squares relates to meiosis, the formation of gametes, and alleles and all of that. So let's look carefully at these two images. They're identical, but we're going to pretend that the image on the left is the male and the image on the right is the female. And they're two separate organisms. In this case, we're talking about pea plants, but we really could be talking about anything. So plants have a male and female component, and that's how they sexually reproduce. So just because we're talking about plants, the same concepts apply in a way. So let's say we have pea plant number one, this male right here, pea plant number one, totally separate organism from pea plant number two, the female, let's just say. And this male pea plant happens to have the genotype big R, little r. Big R stands for round seed, and little r is going to be wrinkled. Remember that you need two recessives to make that trait. So this male we see is big R, little r. This female happens to be big R, little r too. Same with big R means round. So the male is a round-seeded plant, and the female is also a round-seeded plant. They're both big R, little r. Now, when they go to make gametes, they go through Meiosis One and Meiosis Two. So in this case, this male has two chromosomes in its body cells, somatic cells, let's say. The female also has two chromosomes in its body cells, somatic cells. This germ cell, this is going to make the gametes. So what happens is, step one, they each make identical sister chromatids. So that's going to be in this process. Sister chromatids are made. Just an identical copy of the chromosomes. Now, Meiosis One, they separate apart. In this case, the big R sister chromatids went one way, the little r went the other way, same in this case. And then another round of division that separates the chromosomes. And so the male is going to have, I'm going to put these little tails to represent like sperm, and these will be eggs. So what we have here is the male gametes have one chromosome. The female gametes also have one chromosome in each of their gametic cells, which is half the number as the original two. Okay? So let's take this a step further. If we cross these two plants, the male, we're going to say the cross with the female. That kind of means they're sexually reproducing. Remember, the male is big R, little r. The female is big R, little r. We're going to cross those two together. Capital R equals round. Lowercase r equals wrinkled seeds. Therefore, if an organism is big R, they would be round seeded. Big R, little r would also be round because the capital R is dominant. And then little r, the recessive condition would be wrinkled. Okay, I'm going to use some colors here. Let's say we'll use, let's see, green for males. In this case, I like to use, the male is going to be green, and then the female is going to be red, let's say. I'm going to erase this. So we have the green cross with the red. So they're both round-seeded parents. So let's get to a Punnett square. So what we do in a Punnett square is we try to figure out the probability if they were to sexually reproduce, what their offsprings would be. So the first thing we need to do, it doesn't matter what order you do it in, but through meiosis, the male can either donate an R, big R, in a sperm cell, or it could donate a little r in a sperm cell. If we go back to this picture, see, the male could either donate a big R or a little r. Those are the only two, in this example, those are the only two alleles that the male would donate if it was going to have sex with this female. The female, therefore, can also, it's the same thing, either donate a big R or a little r in her egg. We can go back and see that either if you look at the chromosomes in her gametes, there's either capital R allele or a lowercase r allele. So what we do here, this shows us the combination if these two were going to sexually reproduce. So we bring down this r into this square, big R, and we also bring it straight down into this square too, big R. That's saying that okay? And we're going to bring our little r's down as well, here and here. All right? It doesn't matter, you could put the female where the male is right now or vice versa. It doesn't matter, you're going to get the same combination. We're going to bring this across here and also all the way across here. So you bring them across and put them in the squares. So if they're on the top part, you bring them down. If they're on the left-hand side, you bring them across. A general rule of thumb is that you put the capital letter first. So now we have our combinations of what their babies potentially could be. We could have a pea plant that is big R, big R. 1 out of 4 is going to be big R, big R. We could have a big R, little r. In fact, we could have two possibilities of big R, little r. 2 out of 4, big R, little r. And then the last possibility, little r, 1 out of 4, little r, little r. So what this is saying, if these two pea plants reproduced, big R, little r, crossed with big R, little r, both round-seeded pea plants, they make their gametes, the gametes sexually reproduce. Any gamete could, it's just random which sperm will fuse with which egg, and this will give us our outcome, okay? All right, hopefully that made sense. Let's practice a little bit more. This is going to be your homework, so you can use the information I'm giving you right now to help you complete it. The first part just says, label whether it's homozygous or heterozygous. Remember, heterozygous is one big, one little, and homozygous is both the same. It could be homozygous dominant or homozygous recessive. So big A, little a is going to be homozygous. Big E, little e will be heterozygous. That one's hard to read on the computer. I think it's big L, little, or big L, little l, or big I, little I. So I'm going to say that's heterozygous. Big M, little m, heterozygous. Let's see, let's do a small lowercase. Little k, lowercase would be homozygous. I'll let you guys fill in the rest. All right, let's look at the second part here. I'm going to erase that. You might need to pause the video if you need to go back. Purple flowers are dominant to white flowers. So this is saying if it's capital P, what color flowers will it be? In this case, purple. So this is kind of the very basics. It might, if you've done this before, it might be easy, but if not, it's good practice. Big P, little p, also purple. But white flowers are recessive, little p, so they're going to be white flowers. Okay? Whoops, I should leave that up longer so you can really see and get that. Feel free to pause the video. All right, I'm going to move on. We'll talk about this in class too if you're confused. All right, the next one goes down here. It says you're going to actually draw it gives you the phenotype. Remember, phenotype is the physical trait. Then you're going to have to draw the genotype. Straight hair is dominant to curly hair. So capital, whoops, sorry about that. Capital S, capital S, capital S. I draw my lowercase s cursive to not get confused. Capital S, lowercase s is also straight because straight is dominant. Then curly would be the lowercase s. And you can write down those answers because this is all practice. It's only formative points. I just want everyone to learn it. All right. Now your first Punnett square. Remember, we separate the genotypes out because in meiosis, these will separate during gamete formation. So big R, little r, little r, little r. Sometimes I even draw the gametes. Let's say that's the sperm cell, egg cell, because it's showing the combination if those gametes got together. In this case, it says round seeds to wrinkled seeds, very similar to the previous slides. But we have a big R, little r crossed with a little r, little r. So we have a round seeded plant crossed with a wrinkled. Not only is it round seeded, but it's heterozygous round. So our combinations will be, we bring the R down, big R down, and we also bring it down here, big R. Bring our little r down, little down. Bring these across, little r. Bring this one all the way across, little r, little r, little r. Now we can see we have one combination of big R, little r, little r, little r, little r, little r, big R, little r. So we have 2 out of 4 are round and 2 out of 4 are wrinkled. The question says, what percentage of the offspring will be round? Well, if 2 out of 4 are round, that's going to be 50%. Okay? So copy that down in your homework so you can practice doing this. But I don't want to do everyone for you because I want to see if you can get it. All right. I'm going to wrap this up pretty quick here. And whoops, I have no idea what I just did there. All right. Let's delete all this. Cancel. Cancel. All right. We're going to go to the back page here. There's 2 pages for your homework. This is going to be due on Saturday. And now it's going to give you guys scenarios that you actually have to draw these out. And they're going to get more difficult as you go. So let's do number 5 together. 5 says a big T homozygous dominant tall plant is crossed with a little t short plant. What percentage of the offspring will be tall? Okay, the strategy to do these is to write it out. So you have big T cross with little t. Now we make a Punnett square. You're going to make all Punnett squares for these. Remember, separate the alleles because these represent the gametes and they're formed through gamete formation. So then we have big T, little t. Whoops, that's a big T. Big T, little t. Big T, little t. Big T, little t. What percentage of the offspring will be tall? Remember, tall is dominant. So it looks like there's a tall 4 out of 4 have a big T. So that means 100% would be tall. Okay, I don't want to give you all the answers because I want you to struggle through this a little bit. Copy down the stuff that I gave you, but we're going to practice this more and more and more. But you are really learning the basics of genetics, and I'm proud of you for keeping with it because this is hard stuff and you're doing a great job. Let's be in touch. Please show up to our Google Meet so you can ask any questions. All right, talk to you later.